All right, welcome to the adventures of the Amelia Baja Boy, episode 1. I've wanted to do this for a while now. I thought I was going to do it in writing, but I think this might be a little bit easier. I kind of want to just tell the story of our family. Everyone says, why are you called Baja Boy? And well, it's basically because I've been traveling Baja since I was a boy. I remember having my first birthday party. Well, maybe I don't remember. I remember stories about having my first birthday party in Baja. So I'm sure I was traveling well, in the first months of my life. And in Baja, as a kid, we grew up in Southern California in Riverside. And I can remember packing up the Scout or the Jeep and going down to Baja for the weekend, going camping, exploring. We hit San Felipe, and I was a kid just mesmerized with the tides going out so far. And we'd camp south there. We'd go to Ensenada. We would just go camp out in the middle of nowhere in the desert. And it was just the way I grew up. I loved it. It was my playground. And I did it until we were about, I was in 3rd grade. And then my dad took a job up in the Central Valley in Fresno. And that's pretty much when I quit going to Baja as a kid. But, it goes back. My dad as a kid was going down to Baja as a kid too, because my grandfather, bless his soul, he'd take my dad down to San Felipe and Ensenada, and I remember stories of them dry camping in parking lots and stuff. And so it's definitely in my family. I'm 3rd generation Baja traveler, and anyway. So my grandparents, they had I remember as a kid, they bought a little place in Rosarito, and their place was at the south edge of town, right where the town ended. And as a kid, I was up on the cliffs playing around. I'd go get mussels off the rocks at low tide and go fishing. And that whole area, sure enough, that I used to play on, turned out to be the what became the Fox Studios, where they filmed the Titanic. So unfortunately, my grandfather passed away when I was, 17 or so, and I knew at that time, even though I hadn't been going to Baja for a while, that one day, I would return, and one day I would find a place to live and bring my kids down here. So that's happened, but that story's going to have to wait for another day. But in the meantime, I just want to share with you, how I got here, or how I got the name Baja Boy. And in future episodes, I'd love to share my travels. I've traveled extensively over the years throughout Baja. Eventually got married. My wife and I got married down here and had kids. And now our kids are here and in school. And anyway, we are now happily living in the great village of Bahia Asuncion. So more to come on those stories. I plan on doing these more, and hopefully I can get my wife and my kids to share some of their perspectives. But anyway, hope you enjoy.